Well, good evening, fans. Welcome in here tonight on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Rob Kendall, along with Lex Zorn, as your Cascade Cadets are set to take on the Cloverdale Clovers in round 2 of a doubleheader tonight, which just saw the girls victorious in a big, big comeback win. Both teams have left the floor now, and here in just a moment we are going to have some ceremonies out on the floor, and then we will have high school basketball. It's going to be a very interesting night, and of course, some great players on both sides of the ball. We'll talk with Leck about that in just a moment. Before we do, though, let's start by thanking. We're going to have a quick. Big. Well, before we do that, we're going to pause real quick. The new mascot for Cascade High School being introduced right now, right as we begin our broadcast. So we're going to pause as it's being unveiled right in front of us. Sort of. Oh, here we go. It's the General, the new mascot. How exciting is this? Over on the far side, look at that. That is the brand new mascot, the General, for the Cascade High School. This is 50 years from now, they'll look back and say, where was it? And we'll say, we were there, as that is the General, looking very nice out there in the center of the floor. To a big thunderous ovation. Okay, back to the thoughts of the broadcast now. It's going to be the Cascade Cadets taking on the Cloverdale Clovers, and it should be a very exciting night. Before we do, though, let's thank the sponsors that make it possible for us to be out here. I got a little distracted there with the announcement of the new mascot. But Platinum Partner CJ's Pizza, Platinum Partner AIC Irrigation, Diamond Partner North Salem State Bank, Diamond Partner Best Way Drywall Inc. And we also want to thank John Acton, the outstanding principal here at the Cascade High School, as well as Scott Stevens, the great athletic director. Let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. For your cadets, it'll be number 2, Jaden Hopper, a senior. Number 24, Alec Alderson, a senior. Number 30, Ross Stevenson, a junior. Number 34, Evan Birch, a senior. And number 34, Dalton DuBois, a junior. So Hopper, Alderson, Stevenson, Birch, and DuBois tonight for the Cascade Cadets. For the visiting Tri-West Bruins, number 11, Cooper Neese, a senior, 6'4". Number 12, Nick Winders, a junior, 6'2". Number 24, Jake Wilkes, a sophomore, 6'3". Number 33, Seth Pfaff, a senior, 6'1". And number 34, Jalen Moore, a junior, 5'9". So Neese, Winders, Wilkes, Pfaff, and Moore tonight for the visiting Cloverdale Clovers. And we bring in my broadcast partner for the evening tonight. May bring you much of the play-by-play action, Lex Zorn. When we talk about Cloverdale, we talk about one guy, number 11, Cooper Neese.
Well, he's the guy who usually gets talked about, and for good reason. He averages 30 points as well as 9 rebounds a game. And he's headed to play basketball at Butler, who's, been a consistent national power for the last decade. Of course, made the NCAA championship game consecutive years, 2010 and 2011 under Brad Stevens. Has continued to thrive, after Stevens left for the Boston Celtics. And Cooper Neese, a 6'4" senior, having an extraordinary year, one of the great shooters ever to come out of Indiana. He's already hit 76 three-pointers through his team's first 15 games. They entered the game at 10-5. However, it's also overlooked that he also gets a lot of backcourt help from 5'9" junior Jalen Moore, who's a great scorer in his own right, averaging 23 points a game and having hit 46 three-pointers of his own. So that lethal sharp-shooting combination, certainly one of the best ever in the state, maybe up there, not too far below Jay Edwards and Lyndon Jones, who had that purple reign there at Marion with the 3 consecutive state championships from 85 to 87. And these guys certainly, playing here in Class 2A, have a great shot for a deep tournament run here. with Neese being a senior and Moore being a junior. So with those two, leading a Clovers team that averages 71 points a game over 32 minutes, the main question is, can the Cadets, who are one of the most improved teams here in the state of Indiana this year, entering the game at 7-4, contain those two sharpshooting guards and also get enough points of their own? Cascade is led in scoring with two players averaging 15.5 points a game each. There's Dalton Dubois, a 6'5 senior, as well as Evan Birch, who is Evan Birch is a 6'2 senior. So, really, they're gonna have their hands full trying to contain the two high-scoring Cloverdale players, while at the same time getting a lot of points of their own, especially once you get beyond those two players in Birch and Dubois. Only one player is averaging only one other Cascade player is averaging as many as 5 points a game. That's senior Alec Alderson, a 5'8 senior who's averaging 10.3 points a game. So other than that, their next highest scorer, Jaden Hopper, a senior starter, is averaging 4.5 a game.
Now, think about this, Leck, when we talk about a guy like Neese for Cloverdale. You watch him out there warming up, and you think some of the schools, Cascade, one of the better schools probably that Cloverdale is going to play throughout the course of the year. Think of the competitive advantage a kid like that has when he's playing some of these smaller schools across the state. Yeah,
that's right, teams that don't have a lot of depth. So, certainly that creates a big challenge. You can bet that Coach Chris Dubois is going to do everything he can to prepare for these two players. Now, if they only had one big scorer, that would be one thing. You could triple team them and all that. But when you have, two guys averaging that much, I'm just not sure that, Cascade has the manpower to, maybe they might have the manpower to contain one of them. I doubt they have the manpower to contain both of them, but we'll see, Well,
the other thing that's going to be interesting is the last time we saw these Cadets, you were not with us, but they played in the sectional final, the county basketball tournament final against Plainfield. Now, they played since then, right?
No,
that was the girls.
Yeah.
So they have not played since that sectional final loss to Tri-West, which was a tough one, and it came off such an emotional and dramatic win over Plainfield the night before. So we'll see how they return, because that was a very tough loss for Cascade.
Yeah, I think what happened, they just gave their all to pull off that big upset. One of the biggest Cascade wins in years for the boys program. And I think they were just out of gas, being a team that's not very deep, playing on, playing the second night in a row, coming off a physically and emotionally draining game. So here we go. Both teams getting ready to take to the floor. Cascade will be the home team on the scoreboard tonight. We'll wear the home white jerseys, black letters and numbers. The visitors, the Cloverdale Clovers, will wear the road green, white letters and numbers, and it'll be Du Bois to tip it up against Neese. Leck, I'll take 1 and 3, take 2 and 4. Yeah, and to put in perspective the sheer dominance of Neese and Moore, the third leading scorer for Cloverdale is Jake Wilkes, who averages 5.1 a game.
Tip is up. It's controlled by the Clovers, and Pfaff has it in the backcourt as he will get it over to Jalen Moore, 34. And now Neese lost the handle on a loose ball pulled out of there by the Cadets, and Cascade will have the ball for the first time in the game, moving from left to right. Alderson across the 10-second line. Over to Du Bois. Du Bois on the left wing. Up top to Hopper. Hopper to Alderson, down into Du Bois. Backs down. Neese goes up and in.
Wow. Boy, that's huge for Cascade to score first in a game like this. Nice move by Du Bois.
Yeah, nice job that time by Cascade to get that position. They took it right at Neese. Worst case, could get him in foul trouble.
So now a three-pointer from the corner is good. That's Winders. So I'll tell you, Cloverdale takes their first lead without any points from their big two of Neese and Moore.
Yeah, so 3-2 now the score. Rob Kendall along with Lex Zorn bringing you tonight the Cascade Cadets and the Cloverdale Clovers into Du Bois. Du Bois up and in for two. And Du Bois, he really struggled against Tri-West after that phenomenal game against Plainfield. Nice to see him back in the swing of things early on. And a long three.
That's why he's going to Butler.
Yeah. Well, and again, you talk about him averaging 30 points a game, and that is phenomenal regardless of what size school you play at. But, I mean, the average kid he is going up against, as there's a three ball from Hopper. No good. Rebound pulled out of there by Neese. And now Neese going to run the floor. Going coast to coast, flips it ahead to a wide-open teammate. Missed the shot. That's number 12. Winders. And a wide-open look that time. But, I mean, it's almost this man among boys thing. I mean, you look at him out there against these other kids, even the Cascade kids, just doesn't look like everybody else.
No, not at all.
But it's at the same time, it's always tough to judge a kid like this as a three ball up from Birch, no good. Rebound pulled out of there by Wilkes for the Clovers.
And keep in mind,
a rainbow three from about 10 feet beyond the arc, all the way back at the Cadets lettering. That may be the longest unforced three I've ever seen.
Oh, my God.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and keep in mind that not only does he average 30 points, he also pulls in 9 rebounds a game. So, I mean, and both of the threes he hit so far, they were perfect. They barely grazed the middle of the net. They were so on target.
Wow, unbelievable start to the game. Now the whole Alderson missed it. Du Bois up and in for two.
Du Bois with all 6 Cascade points to keep the team in the game early. They trail by 3. Now a three-pointer. No good there by Wilkes. Now the other end, Birch passes up a 3, pitches over. Now inside to Du Bois. Tries to post up on Neese, and he hits it.
Oh, my God. Well, they came for Neese. Stay for Du Bois. He's got 8.
Yeah.
And it's 8-9. Du Bois 8, Cloverdale 9.
Boy, Du Bois really was playing fired up tonight, just like he did in that Plainfield game, one of the biggest wins in school history.
And poor Hopper gets the assignment of having to try to guard him. And they're really running a box and one here defensively. As now a little pump fake. Easy path to the basket. Up and in for 2 that time by Wilkes.
Yep, so 11-8. Dalton Du Bois single-handedly keeping Cascade competitive nearly halfway into this first quarter here at Clayton.
So now Birch on the right wing, and he'll take it hard to the block, up and in for 2. So give the Cadets credit.
Yes.
The shootout at the OK Corral, and it's 11-10 now, steal by the Cadets. And boy, how are you going to compete with a guy that can literally hit a shot from 8 feet beyond the three-point arc? Kicks it into the corner to Alderson. Alderson faces up, down into Stevenson, backing down, picks up the dribble, kicks it back up to Alderson. Alderson to Du Bois, fires a long 2, short, rebound tipped up, ball on the floor, pulled out of there by Cloverdale, and we will see what the Clovers like to do this time now.
Yeah.
You almost just don't want anybody else to touch it because he's such a show.
Yeah.
And now ball comes into the right corner.
Keep in mind, Moore hasn't even taken a shot yet, and he's averaging 23 a game, number 34.
You've got 53 points a game between these two kids as Neese takes the high screen. Now right side pump fake, open fadeaway 3. Good!
Oh, my God. It was off balance. It was off balance, too, but he still switched it. All 3 of his threes haven't even hit the rim.
That is unbelievable. I mean, we'll talk about this at the break because if we keep talking, we're going to miss something. Birch fires a 3, in and out. Rebound tipped up. It'll belong to the Clovers. 14-10 the score. 4-point lead for Cloverdale. Every 3 this kid's hit, too, has been well defended.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. So now
Wilkes with it, and now loose ball. Now check that's Moore, and Moore jump ball called on the tie-up, and the possession arrow favors the Cadets, so Cascade will get it back.
And we have a very, very big crowd here tonight, too. I'd say this gym's probably a good, 75-80% of the way filled. Not a lot of empty spaces here.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a very very rare treat to see a kid of this talent.
Yeah.
And, think about, because of the way it works, as the ball comes left side to Birch, he'll put it on the floor. Down into Stevenson, pump fake, goes up, and
nice.
Got to go. Because of the way they alternate every other year, you only get really one chance to see this kid play because of, last year was at home. Now a long three by Moore, no good, drew the foul on Birch.
And he's taken the inspiration from Neese. I mean, that was well past the three-point line as well. I mean, that was an NBA three, certainly.
That three, I'm telling you, that three that Neese hit, that is the longest three. I've seen half-court shots, obviously, the end of a quarter or something, but that's the longest unforced three I've ever seen at any level, I think.
I think me too, yeah. So now Moore going for his first points of the game. His first free throw is up and good.
Now it's almost, I'm sure people who saw maybe, Rick Mount or
Steve Alford.
Steve Alford, but free throw up and good. I'm drawing a blank on the name here. The guy that Pete Maravich.
Yeah.
Guys that would shoot it from anywhere. Probably they shot longer shots, even though there really wasn't a three-point line.
Yeah, there was a game where Mount scored 61, and it's estimated he would have scored 74 with a three-point shot when he was with Purdue.
He got 2 out of 3.
It's a 4-point lead now for the Clovers.
Hopper, path to the basket, blocked away.
Yeah.
And here come the Clovers running now. Moore, foot race to the basket, beats everybody. Up, count it, and the basket.
And by the way, it was Neese who got that block on the other end as well, so he can play defense as well, which is good going into the Big East.
Yeah. Now, what is the record for Cloverdale so far?
10-5.
How has this team lost 5 games?
I don't know.
Who are they losing to that they're playing? I'd be curious to see that list of who they've lost to.
I'll pull it up right here.
Stevenson with it around the horn over to Alderson. Alderson, high on the wing. Nowhere to go with the ball to Birch. Birch picks it up, back over to Alderson. Alderson skips it across court to Hopper. Hopper on the floor to Birch. Birch in the lane, little running left-handed jumper. Up and down for 2. Nice job by the Cadets. That'll make it an 18-14 affair as we continue to move with a minute and 39 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Now in the corner, there's a wide-open three the other way. No good. And Cascade comes out of there with the ball. That time that was number 14, Watts, firing the three. Du Bois for 3, short. Rebound tracked out of there by Moore.
Oh, nice move there by Moore.
Little running jumper, good for 2.
So Moore now with 6 points of his own.
At the quarter break, I want to know who the 5 teams are that have beat this
It's
team.
A real eye-opener, too. I'm shocked looking at it.
That's almost unbelievable. Ball comes in the corner to Alderson. Dribbling between the legs, lost the handle on it, now gets it back. And now a whistle and a foul is called on Neese. Who are they?
Okay, let me pick it up here. Okay, Cloverdale has lost to Edgewood, Southmont, Indian Creek, Park Tudor, and Linton Stockton.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I thought maybe they, I thought, maybe they were playing a...
Well, a lot of times these really good teams, will play in tournaments with teams from out of state or, they'll play bigger schools or that's...
Yeah, but it's no, marquee names on the list that they've lost to, so I don't know. Of course, they have given up 65 points a game, so maybe they've just, had some bad defensive nights in those games. But and it should be noted that Neese has played in all 15 games, too.
Ball comes to Alderson right side. Oh, pass it to Stevenson. Nice pass. Goes up. Got it to go for 2. And that'll make it a 20-16 affair. Neese comes up across the 10-second line. He is looking to shoot. Yeah, he does. There it is.
Finally misses. So he's human after all.
Yeah, that was a terrible shot. Of course, it's very nice to call if it goes in. That's an atrocious shot by Neese.
Maybe got a little overconfident after that, 35-footer that he hit earlier.
Now up across the 10-second line. In the corner it comes to Hopper. Hopper, guarded by Moore, takes it in the lane, skips it over to Stevenson, up top to Birch. Birch pump fake again. Boy, he wanted to
they're running
shoot.
out of time.
Got it over there, 3 ball on the way. It's up and down the buzzer. Hopper nails the 3, and it is a 20-19 affair. Super exciting first quarter of action.
Boy, I'll tell you, I don't know how long Cascade can keep this up. After that first three-pointer there by Neese, and especially the second one, I really thought this game would be out of reach by this point. Cascade's, never gotten more than, I think, 4 down. They trail by 1 now after that three-pointer there by Hopper to end the quarter. We'll see if they can keep this up. If they can, it'll be great. And if not, there's no shame in losing to a team. There's shame if you lose for the wrong reasons, but if you lose simply because the other team's better, there's nothing you can do about it. Just go out and do the best you can. And this Cloverdale team clearly has much more talent, so it's a tribute to the team effort and the focus and the determination of this Cascade team that they're even in this game at all. So certainly if they win, it would be one of the big wins in program history, and even more meaningful in front of probably the biggest crowd they've had of the season. And certainly, there's going to be a lot more noise made in this small, intimate gym tonight with the ear-piercing acoustics. So now we begin the second quarter here at Clayton with Seth Pfaff. That's P-F-A-F-F inbounding to Jalen Moore, the team's largely overlooked second leading scorer now.
Tried a little backdoor pass that time, and it'll be picked up by the Cadets. So a turnover, and believe it or not, Cascade now with the chance to actually take the lead.
Doesn't seem possible, but it's reality here in Clayton tonight. And we had a great opener with the girls beating the Cloverdale Lady Clovers 69-57 with a 26-point turnaround during the game, going from 8 down to as many as 18 up.
Yeah, moving screen that time on the Cadets on the turnover.
So now,
nice shot by Neese, long 2, easy cheesy. Although we're a little disappointed that was just a long 2 and not a 3.
it's anticlimactic after the others, but oh well, not bad though.
Lobbed out into Birch, nice position that time. Pump fake goes up, got it to go for 2. Now back the other way. Here comes Neese.
Yeah, Evan Birch already with 6 points.
Moore's got it, dribbles to the right side to the foul line in the lane. A little running jumper up, no good. Rebound pulled down. And now here come the Cadets back the other way. Pass ahead to down inside to Stevenson. Stevenson kicks it up top. 3 ball from Du Bois is short. Loose ball out of there. And here come the Clovers running back the other way. Neese with it. Rainbow 3, no good. And it's fun to watch, but when he misses like that and it's that bad, that's such a bad shot, you just say, that may be why they've lost 5 games.
Yeah, maybe he just gets a little carried away sometimes, but nevertheless. By the way, Linton Stockton, who Cloverdale lost to, they are ranked number 6 in the state in Class 2A. So, certainly, And
that shot right there, that we've seen 2 of them in a row now, is pretty telling because there is no shot clock. You could get that shot at any time in the offense, and the fact that he comes down there like there's a 10-second shot clock and puts that up may be pretty telling about why. And it's not going to fly at Butler, I can tell you that.
Yes. I'll tell you, I think maybe he's just a little overconfident. After he makes a 35-foot shot, maybe he just thinks he's going to make everything he puts up. But certainly, what a treat to commentate this kid tonight. So Dalton Du Bois now hits it. And believe it or not, Cascade has the lead, 23-22.
Well, and I don't know that for sure, but Du Bois is there's a 3 from Moore. Top of the key is good, and the Clovers regain the lead. But Du Bois is hanging right there with Neese in terms of total points.
Yeah. Du Bois has 10, Neese 11. So now Du Bois threatening another 3, throws across court for a wide open 3 now. No good. Du Bois gets the rebound, puts it back up. No good.
The layup, had a good look at it that time. Nice rebound, couldn't get it to go.
Would have tied it.
And it's a 2-point lead for the visitors as the Clovers come running back the other way. Moore in the lane, goes to the hole. Nice move, got it to go for 2.
So Moore has 11 equally, and we got a timeout now as Coach Du Bois wants to make sure this doesn't slip away with Cloverdale opening up a 27-23 lead with 5:26 to go here in the second quarter. And a very, very exciting, hectic forensic game here featuring future Butler star and then another guy, Jalen Moore, who's going to be playing, college ball somewhere a couple of years from now. 5'9" junior, certainly it would help his case if he were to grow a few more inches. 5'9", he might have trouble getting Division I scholarships, although certainly plenty of Division II and III schools as well as NAIA schools would grab him up easily. So certainly he'll be hoping to, get at least up to 6 feet, if not a little more. So now, actually, the coach for Cloverdale just went over to talk to one of the officials here. I'm not sure what the issue is, but nevertheless, about a third of the way through this game, the second half of our boys-girls doubleheader, the fans here have really gotten their money's worth tonight. And I love that Cascade does so many of these doubleheaders. Now, tomorrow, both teams will be playing again, but, it won't be a doubleheader. We're going to have are they going to have the JV teams playing tomorrow?
Yes.
So we're going to have 4 games in this gym tomorrow. We're going to have the boys, we're going to have, first of all, a girls varsity, junior varsity doubleheader, and then in the evening we're going to have a boys varsity, junior varsity doubleheader. So 4 games in a span of about 10 or 12 hours or so. So you certainly get a lot of bang for your buck here at Clayton tomorrow.
Yeah, and we will have the girls and boys varsity games. So the girls varsity at 2, and then the boys varsity slated for around 7:30.
So it's going to be another great day. So, it's great that after we weren't here for almost a month in Clayton, now we got, 4 games in 2 days. So definitely making up for the lost time. So now Alec Alderson with the ball over to Dalton Du Bois, back to Alderson. Thinks about driving, then goes back to Du Bois, now cross court to Birch. Now to Alderson. Now,
great pass to Du Bois.
Yes!
He lays it up and in for 2. Nice jump by Hopper to find a cutting Du Bois.
Dalton Du Bois with a game high 12. Both Neese and Moore have 11 for Cloverdale, cutting the lead to 2.
And that'll make it a 27-25 affair.
So now Moore with the ball, and we got a foul there. I think it's going to be a reach in against Cascade.
So Cascade hanging around here with the 2 great Cloverdale stars.
We'll see how long it lasts, but certainly it's been a big thrill so far.
Well, great play by Dalton Du Bois early on.
Yeah, the game's leading scorer. He's outscored both Moore and.
Great pass by Neese down inside to Pfaff, and Seth Pfaff, a senior, lays it up and in, hoop and the harm.
So another team that beat Cloverdale. Park Tudor, they're ranked number 7 in Class 3A. So certainly they've lost to a couple of good teams at least. But nevertheless, Seth Pfaff with his first points of the game, trying to complete a 3-point play that would put Cloverdale up by 5, which I believe would be a game high. Free throw is no good, however.
Du Bois grabs the rebound. Now, I don't know what Neese's academics are like, but there ain't no dummies at Butler either.
No, not at all. So, certainly... and that's one thing I give them credit for, that they have, and they have maintained very high academic standards there.
Birch in the lane, kicks it left side. Hopper will fire a 3. It's good! Hopper for 3.
Hopper with 6 points, all on threes, and cuts the lead to 1.
29-28 the score. 3 ball, no good. Rebound tipped up. Loose ball pulled out of there by Birch, and a foul called on number 24, Jake Wilkes, for the Clovers.
Well, as long as Neese is missing, you got to capitalize on it. You have to follow, you have to rebound his misses, and then you have to score points of your own.
What I don't understand, though, Leck, and this has got to be coaching, is he's taking shots that maybe in an NCAA basketball game you would say okay because there is a shot clock. Maybe you don't get a good shot. But he's taking shots as Birch will fire a three.
He got it. We're up.
Big three for Birch. Extends the lead to 2 for the Cadets. But he's taking shots that are just ridiculous 10 seconds into having the ball.
Yeah, you're right. And, certainly, he's got all the talent. And now rebound there.
3-ball left side. It's short. That's an air ball. And he's going to hear it from the Cascade student section. His path drew nothing that time. And now back the other way. Birch with it over to Hopper. Hopper to Alderson left side to Du Bois. Turnaround jumper. Good! And the lead extends to 4, 33-29, and a timeout Cloverdale. So Cascade came to play, and they lead it by 4 with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first half.
Wow. 8-0 run now by the Cadets. I didn't think they had it in them, but here's what they have so far. Delton Du Bois has 14. Evan Birch has 9. Jaden Hopper has 6. And Ross Stevenson has 4. What a great team effort it's been. Delton Du Bois is a good player. He's probably going to play, maybe a small Division I college or maybe a Division II college. But I did not think he would be the game's leading scorer nearly halfway through.
Yeah, how many does he have?
14.
14, and what is it, 11 for Neese?
And for more as well, yes.
Yeah, so pretty much staying to script for Cloverdale, Leck, as the two guys of the 29 that they have, 2 guys have 22.
Yeah, that's right, and then they have Winders with 3, and then Wilkes with 2, and Pfaff with 2. So certainly, and keep in mind, like I said, nobody on the team besides those 2 who are combined for 53 a game, nobody averages more than 5.1 on Cloverdale. So now Moore gives it to Neese, drives to the basket, nice pass inside, puts it up and in. It's a nice lay-in there by Jake Wilkes. He has 4 now.
And it shows just how dangerous that Neese can be, because right there he's got 2.5 guys on him, able to disseminate the basketball and get a wide open look.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Now inside to Stevenson. Now it's
to Walker, and Walker gets it to go for 2.
Wow.
Nice job by Walker. Good ball movement by the Cadets. Cascade's done a really nice job tonight, Leck, of spreading the floor. Something they struggled a little bit against Tri-West. And Neese, nice dish that time to a wide open number 32, Jaron Rossick, who put it in for 2. And now Neese really finding his stride with a couple of nice passes last couple times down the floor. A pass knocked away. Thought he was going to get Walker cutting to the basket. Now here comes Moore. Moore down inside. Up. No good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Saved. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Cadets.
Well, 129 to go in the half, and Cascade amazingly has a 2-point lead. We'll see how long Neese is going to stay cold. I believe he's missed his last 3 shots, although he's shown that he's not shy about giving the ball up to an open guy when they clamp down on him. And now we have a whistle here. I could not tell from my vantage point because we have an obstructed view here. And now there's a and now the the Cloverdale coach now is talking to an official again. But they decided it is Cascade's ball. I could not see exactly what happened. I apologize for that. So now Alderson brings it up for the Cadets. Now he drives within, passes over to Birch, who's been very good tonight. Now back to Jaden Hopper. 1:08 to go. Cascade would love to take the lead into the locker room. Inside to Ross Stevenson. Now back to Birch. And it's intercepted there by Moore, who tries to take it in all the way. He puts it up, and he hits it, and he's fouled.
Yeah, explosive offense from the Cloverdale Clovers. Some of the big playmakers, Neese and Moore, showing up here. And now they have reclaimed the lead. They have now tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead by Moore at the free throw line.
So Moore, if he's missed a couple of free throws tonight, but if he hits this one, then Cloverdale will regain the lead with 59.8 seconds to go here in the second half. We have a near-capacity crowd here, and it's good after a few bounces. So Moore with 14 tied for the game high with Dalton Du Bois, and it's a 1-point Cloverdale lead as Alec Alderson brings the ball past midcourt. 50 seconds to go now here in the half. Cloverdale trying to get the lead, Cascade trying to get the lead back here. And now we got a foul there. I think they're going to get Neese for a reach-in against Birch. No, I'm sorry, they got Winders on that. That's his first. And that's only the fifth foul against Cloverdale. So they still got a couple before they get into the penalty. So 44 seconds left. Inbounds to Alec Alderson near the midcourt line. He brings it up to the top of the key. Dribbling. Now turns to his right. Passes over to Stevenson at the right perimeter. As if pass is deflected, and it goes out of bounds to Cloverdale with 32.2 seconds to go. The Clovers very well might save it for the last shot. And now we've got Rosick throwing it up to Moore. Now passing over to, and now Neese drives to the basket, pitches over to a wide open Wilkes, who lays it in.
3-point lead now for the Cadets, and they can play for the final shot of the half.
Yeah, Alec Alderson bringing it up again for Cascade. 12 seconds left, guarded by Moore. Now he's near midcourt, and now coming off a pick there by Dubois, and we got a whistle here with 6.6 seconds to go.
Double dribble, the call.
Okay.
I think Alderson trying to make the case that the ball was hit.
So now they mainly need to hold Cloverdale from scoring the rest of the quarter. And now we're going to have, let's see, Parker Watts coming into the game for Jaron Rosick.
Yeah,
Watts,
you see this a lot too. It's so hard. You fight so hard, and then to have a little slip up here the final minute, and they can put some distance.
So Moore gives it over to Neese. He loses
a handle
control.
on it.
Birch gets it. 3 seconds to go, and he's fouled.
Yeah, nice job that time by Cascade to steal the ball. That's only going to be the sixth foul on the Clovers, so no free throws. However, it will give Cascade the ball at midcourt with a chance to catch and shoot. Still 2.5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, they can tie with a quick three. So now Hopper he throws it to Birch. Puts up a three. No good. So we head to the locker rooms. The Cascade Cadets hanging in there surprisingly well with the heavily favored Cloverdale Clovers. Cascade trails by a score of 38-35 here on AudioSportsOnline.com.
Yeah, real quick, let's thank some of the sponsors that allow us to be out here covering these games. Diamond Partner, Best Way Drywall, Inc., Diamond Partner, North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partner, AIC Irrigation, Platinum Partner, CJ's Pizza. Thanks to these people who contribute in many, many ways to the Cascade Athletic Department in all sorts of capacities. Also thanks to John Acton, the fabulous principal here at the Cascade High School, and Scott Stevens, the great athletic director. I'm Rob Kendall, along with Lex Zorn. As big night tonight, the unveiling of the new Cascade mascot. Lex.
Yes, and I'll tell you, I saw him dancing to that rap music they were playing in the pregame, and I'll tell you, for an old guy, he's got some rhythm.
Yeah, there you go. So 3-point lead for the Clovers over the Cadets at half. We'll be back with the second half. Leck, you got some stuff for halftime for us?
Oh, absolutely, of course. Well, it's been a wild and woolly game so far. I'll tell you that opening game between the girls' teams of these respective schools was very exciting. It was an up-and-down affair until Cascade went on an incredible 36-10 run. They closed to 30. They were down 40-32 before closing out the third quarter on a 20-4 run, and continued the run into the fourth quarter and pulled away to a 69-57 win to improve to 13-4 and improve to 2-0 since dropping both games last week in the Hendricks County basketball tournament. Meanwhile, the boys are doing a great job recovering from their disappointing loss to Tri-West in the championship game of last Saturday's Hendricks County basketball tournament down at Plainfield. It's a game in which they were playing against a future Butler player in the sharpshooting superstar guard Cooper Neese, as well as his underrated backcourt mate Jalen Moore, who are averaging 30 and 23 points a game respectively. But Cascade came to play. They've made few mistakes. A lot of their shots have been falling, and then in the second quarter, Neese went cold from the field. So let's look at the scoring so far. First of all, for your Cascade Cadets, Dalton Dubois leads the way with 14, tying for a game high. Evan Birch has 9. Jaden Hopper has 6. Ross Stevenson has 4. And Benson Walker has 2. Meanwhile, for the Cloverdale Clovers, it's not Cooper Neese, but it's actually his overlooked backcourt mate Jalen Moore who leads the team and tying for all scores with 14 points. Neese himself has 11, and 9 of them came on three-point field goals that all swished the net, one of which was just from about 35 feet away. Rob and I both agreed that, not counting buzzer-beating shots, it's the longest three we've ever seen made in any level, even up to the NBA. So, again, Jalen Moore with 14, Cooper Neese with 11, Jake Wilkes with 6, Nick Winders with 3, Seth Pfaff with 2, and Jaron Rossick with 2. So it's been really a barn burner of a game, every bit as good as advertised. We've had 3 halves of basketball tonight. First game went very well for Cascade. Hopefully the second one will as well. Certainly a close loss to Cloverdale would be no embarrassment, against a power conference recruit with Cooper Neese, and also another very possible Division I player in Jalen Moore. And by the way, it's a little bit confusing because Cloverdale, they have players named Jalen, and then they have 2 players named Jake, and then they have 1 player named Jaron, so I'll try not to get the names mixed up. But nevertheless, and by the way, now they're, I think they're, I know tonight they were having some sort of reunion or alumni night for the Cascade Lady Cadets. Certainly they've had a lot of great teams here over the last 52 years that the school has existed. And so I'm not sure. I think that might be what they're honoring at the court now. So I don't know. Maybe this is something else, because it looks like these are all current students. But I know that this was homecoming night for or whatever they call it for the lady cadets of the past, and certainly it's been they've been consistently one of the best small class schools here in Indiana, and this year have one of their best teams ever. Should easily steamroll to a sectional victory, as we'll talk more about, over these next few weeks, in the sectional that they host here, which Rob and I are very excited about bringing you from this beautiful, picturesque gym here in the lovely community of Clayton. A town of which that I had never visited except for passing through prior to becoming commentator here for the both the cadets and the lady cadets, but a community that I've really embraced and fallen in love with, and hope to be commentating games at in a wide variety of sports for many years to come. I'm 46, and I plan to commentate at least until 89, so I can outlast Vince Scully. But we'll see. But hopefully, I'll be commentating a few hundred more games here at Cascade. And I'm originally from Madison, Indiana, but I'll be proud if you all consider me an honorary cadet. And excited that I was here the night that you all launched your new mascot. He's a very, very cool guy. So hopefully he'll come up to the broadcast booth and say hi to Rob and me after a while. But anyway, we got 3:54 on the halftime clock now, and we have just we always have above average crowds here for Cascade, especially for a smaller school. But especially that's the case tonight. We have about 80% capacity, and it's very exciting to see the way this community just embraces its team so much. The gym has a capacity of 2,200, and so they probably have probably 1,600 fans here tonight. It's making a lot of noise, and the ceiling is so low, and the walls are such that there are just ear-piercing acoustics here, and that makes it exciting. Just brings back an old-time Indiana basketball feel. But anyway, looking ahead to the second half, certainly the keys to the game for Cascade first of all, they're at the mercy of Cooper Neese's shooting. They don't have the manpower to shut him down, but the best shooters, whether you're Steph Curry or Ray Allen or Larry Bird or whoever, you're going to have an off night shooting. You got to hope this ends up being one of Cooper Neese's off nights. And then beyond that, you just have to keep playing mistake-free ball like the Cadets have largely done. They've made very few silly mistakes, and they've just and they've had a lot of good luck. A lot of their shots have fallen. They have not been a real good offensive team, averaging only about 52 points a game on the season, 20 fewer than Cloverdale has. And now they have the clock. The halftime clock stopped at 3 minutes while they have this ceremony. Rob, do you know what's going on here?
I think they're honoring it's a homecoming.
Yeah.
So senior, they're picking winter homecoming or whatever they call it. They're picking senior king and queen. Speaking of which, Lex, I was going to say, have you ever walked around what would be the north end of the gym over there and looked at some of the stuff on the walls and in the trophy cases?
No, I'll have to do that. You'll have to point that out to me.
It's really cool. You can go back, and this is one of the neat things that Cascade has done is they've really kept over the years a lot of those old photos, the oversized photos of some of the old teams, whether they won a sectional or a conference championship or a county championship. And it's really cool if you've never been to the Cascade gym. A lot of these old gyms, of course, used to have these, but as they built the new gyms, things get transferred, things get lost. But it's pretty cool to go back over there and watch, go look through some of those old photos. And one that struck me was, I believe it was 1984, Cascade won the sectional championship in basketball, and it was taken at the old Brownsburg gym. You can see the old Brownsburg gym there in the background, like the gym we're going to. So it's pretty cool. But, yeah, it's a neat gym. They've really kept, I guess I should say, because this gym has been around since the mid-'60s.
Right.
The history of Cascade High School, and it's really cool. So if you get a chance, they got, of course, all the old trophies over there, too. And another thing that you don't realize till you walk around here, or you realize it, maybe you forget it, the Spell Bowl team at Cascade has been so dominant. They're one of the best in the state and, maybe even across the nation. And, of course, you'll see right there on the west end of the gym there all the photos of the Spell Bowl team that's done so well over the years. So just a cool gym, and it's really neat that a little bit of the way Hoosier Hysteria used to be, and it's a cool place to come watch a basketball game.
Well, definitely, I will definitely be checking that out. I'm so glad you pointed it out to me because I didn't realize that existed. And this is not a big school, so it'd be hard to miss things like that. So I'll really excited about checking that out. And I love and this is a trend that I've noticed in the last generation. You go to stores and restaurants now, and they have a lot of old black and white pictures of town history. And I'm glad that a lot of schools are doing that as well. And obviously, based on what Rob said, they're doing it here at Cascade as well. So it'll be great to check that out. And one thing I love about looking at old photographs in general, today we have cameras on our phones, and that's great. I love the convenience of it. That's certainly preserved a lot of memories that otherwise would have been lost. However, you go back 50, 100 years when you had to develop film, and when cameras were expensive and film was expensive and developing was expensive, you had to really choose your pictures wisely. And so people took a lot more care to, give high quality to every picture they took. And one thing I love about looking at those old pictures is that, you can look at some of them are so well made, so well focused, and with such a panoramic view that you can look at them, 1,000 times and still notice things that you've never noticed before.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really cool. Go over there and sometime, maybe even tomorrow or whatever. And check that out. And it's really cool. And I was interesting. I was visiting with Principal Acton and Athletic Director Scott Stevens the other day. I came out here and we were in there in Scott's office. And when you walk into the main office here at Cascade, they've got the original artist rendering of what the high school was going to look like before it was built. They show people, they come up with drawings. Yeah. And, of course, that goes back to, I think, 1965. And it's right about the same time that College Avenue for Brownsburg and then Brownsburg High School, the current high school, which was built a couple years later. They sort of used this school as the blueprint. Or not College Avenue, I'm sorry, Lincoln Elementary, which is where the old varsity gym was. So it's really cool to see those sort of things, and it's interesting. The artist rendition in the main office in there has people out in front of it. It has cars, and they're cars from the '60s because that was the obviously the car at the time. So it's really cool, like these little frozen moments in time that you get a chance to really embrace here at Cascade.
Yeah, and I appreciate you mentioning that, not only for me but for all the listeners. So whenever you all get out here to Cascade, make sure you get here an hour early, or between games, if it's a doubleheader between games, go out and just walk down the hall and check out all these great memories, more than half a century worth of memories here in Clayton at this great small school.
Yeah, because by structure at least, this is by far, well, I guess I can't say that for sure because Danville, I don't know exactly when Danville was built, but I think the current Danville was even built after this one. So I think Cascade is the oldest, at least structural, high school in Hendricks County.
Yeah, based on having been at the Danville gym, it looks more modern, yeah.
Ironic because it's probably next to maybe Tri-West. Tri-West is probably newer, but I think Tri-West and Cascade consolidated right about the same time. So while it may be the newest or one of the newest, at least from a structural standpoint, it's still the oldest because obviously Avon has built a new high school. Brownsburg was built after that in the 70s, and then Tri-West, etc. So Plainfield. Second
half action here. Starting off with Cooper Neese. He scored 11 in the first half, matching his uniform number, but his shooting turned cold in the second quarter. Let's see if he bounces back in the third.
Oh,
and
there's
now
a steal by Hopper. Great job. Now he lost the handle on it.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, it's going to end up back in the hands of the Clovers.
So Moore bringing it up this time. No scoring yet in the second half. Cloverdale with a 3-point lead, and now a three-pointer. No good. Rebound, and we got a foul there. I think
that's a tough call as they're going to get Du Bois on the block out that time, Leck. He was really trying to go for the ball. And that's what he's telling the ref. I think he's blaming the wrong ref because that's not the guy that made the call. But, that's tough because he was just going for the ball, and he was underneath the guy. Quickly into Neese. He'll fire a three. It's good.
Boy. This is going to be a long half if they keep scoring like that.
Neese looks like he looked like he was struggling a little bit as he was running back, but now it looks like he's doing okay.
So now Du Bois on the other end. Cascade, they've battled back every time they've been down. Let's see if they have another comeback in them as Neese goes for a steal, but it's knocked out of bounds to Cascade. 7:10 to go here in the third quarter. Cascade hanging in there against the future Butler player, trailing by 6. I'll tell you, I really wonder who is the best player who's ever played a game in this gym here at Cascade.
That would be fascinating. Obviously, you think since probably 65.
Yeah.
So you're 50, 51 years, 52 years now. Burt's in the corner. Pass down to Du Bois. Got position, goes up. Hoop and arm. Great job, Dalton Du Bois.
Yeah, he moved with aggression, double teamed, but, he took it up with authority.
Well, obviously, from a county perspective, you think about a guy like an Eric Riggs who played out here for Brownsburg. Or
Gordon Hayward.
Or Craig Bruns. Gordon Hayward, although I don't think Brownsburg was playing Cascade at that point. I think they had moved on.
Yeah. Because Brownsburg had grown so much, gotten so big by then,
I know Bruns certainly did. Riggs certainly did. Gavin Groinger probably did, who went to Michigan, who was an Indiana All-Star for Plainfield.
Right, yeah, when they won their state championship, yeah. So Du Bois completes the three-point play, cutting the lead to 3. 6:40 to go here in the third quarter, and now a floater good there by Neese. He has 16 now. He has 5 in the quarter.
And I'll tell you what, Leck, what was so impressive to me about Neese in that first half was when he pulled the foot off the gas of trying to shoot as pass down into Birch, up and in for 2.
Wow.
That time. Those terribly acrobatic long shots and just focused on dispersing the ball. Got several very nice assists.
So Evan Birch, a quiet 9. Now a jumper there by Moore, and it's no good, but we got a foul here.
Yeah, tough foul that time. It was after the shot.
And I'll tell you, Rob, Dalton Du Bois has been good all year, but you look at the way he was awesome against Plainfield. He's been awesome tonight. He's playing like he wants to have a banner senior season and get a Division I scholarship. as Moore hits the first free throw. And if Du Bois, he's 6'5", and now he grows 2-3 more inches and, improves, continues to improve like he has, I think he will be a Division I player. Second free throw also up and good by Moore. He has 16 now, tying for the team lead with Cooper Neese, pushing the lead back up to 5. Dalton Du Bois still leads all scorers with 17. He has the ball now. Pitches over to Alec Alderson. Now over to Evan Birch. And now we got a whistle here. I think they're going to get Pfaff for pushing off against Du Bois. Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's the second on Pfaff, and the second foul against Cloverdale here in the second half. Now pitch inside, inbounds to Du Bois. He drives to the basket, turnaround, hook shot. He hit it.
Great touch that time. Dalton Du Bois playing a great game.
He has 19 now. So Du Bois kept this team competitive. They only trail by 3 here in the third quarter. And now a throwaway, and it's out of bounds to Cascade. So the Cadets can tie with a 3 here with 5:34 to go in the third quarter, 45-42. Up against a future Butler player and another likely Division I player. Cascade still hanging in there.
So, head coach Chris Du Bois, he wanted to charge that time.
So now Alec Alderson bringing it up, guarded by Jalen Moore. And now gives it up to Du Bois. Over to Hopper, now over to Birch. Takes it up to the top of the key. Now pitches inside to Du Bois, turns around, faces the basket, jump shot. No good, off the front of the rim. Rebound by Neese. He brings it up himself. And looks like, and behind the back dribble, thinks about a 3, then gives it up to Pfaff, back to Neese. Now double teamed. Pitches inside to Pfaff, turnaround jumper, no good, rebound Du Bois.
Yeah, nice job there that time. Here come the Cadets back the other way. Let's see if Cascade can try to further claw into this lead, which is 3 points.
Birch thinks about 3, gives up to Alderson, drives to the basket, puts it off the glass.
Killed, no foul call.
Yeah, that's very, very questionable no call there. And now behind the back dribble by Neese, takes it to the basket and lays it in. He has 18 now, 7 in the quarter, pushing the lead back up to 5.
And nice job by Neese that time. And this quarter seems more content to go to the hole, getting those closer looks at the basket.
So now Alderson with the ball. Inside to Du Bois, puts it up off the glass, no good, gets the rebound, puts it up, and he's fouled. Dalton Du Bois, wow. I'll tell you, maybe I underestimated Dalton Du Bois, but I did not think that nearly 5/8 of the way through this game, he would be the leading scorer over both Neese and Moore. He has 19 now. Neese has 18, Moore 16, and now Du Bois has 20, hitting the first free throw there. Dalton Du Bois, very tough competitor. He doesn't have outstanding natural talent, but he has very good size, very good talent, and he's just a relentless competitor. Second free throw, good after a few bounces. So he has a game-high 21 now, and we got a whistle here.
Yeah, the real story there, the lead is that right? The lead is 5? Yeah, that's right. Lead is...
no. They haven't added this points yet.
Yeah, okay.
It's
that's
40.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so it should be 44, 47, 44 should be the score, right?
Yeah, so Moore no good on the three-pointer. Rebound by Du Bois. Now they put 1 point on, but they're supposed to... Wow. I'm really confused here. They've now on the other end, Alec Alderson, but Du Bois gets it and lays it in, then puts it back up, and finally we got a rebound there. And gives it up to Moore. And now Moore takes it, and he's fouled.
Du Bois had 2 good looks at the basket that time. Got to hit those. Now, did he hit that first free throw?
I sure had him as hitting it. And so I've got Du Bois with 21, Birch with 11, Hopper with 6, Stevenson with 4, and Walker with 2. So by my count, that's 44. I mean, I know I went to public school, but, I think... But anyway, maybe I had an optic illusion, but it certainly looked. Certainly looked like he hit it both to me. All right, well, anyway, we'll see, if there's anything that changes on the scoreboard. I'll keep an eye on that. But now Du Bois with the ball. Cascade with and now a three-pointer there by Birch. In and out. Rebound, though, by Alderson. Very good job, on the boards tonight for Cascade. Passes over to Stevenson on the left perimeter. Now back to Alderson. Back to Birch. Nearly stolen. It is stolen there. And now pitched up to Moore, who tries to take it in himself. Puts it off the glass and in. So Moore with 18 now, matching Neese. And that's a 6-point lead now by Cloverdale.
Yeah, Cascade's really got to look to respond right here nearing the 2-minute mark. I'm sorry, inside the 3-minute mark. Left to go in the third.
Inside to Birch, lays it in.
That's nice. Nice job there, getting good looks at the basket. Cascade has done that all game long. Now Neese foot race back the other way, lays it up, short, tipped up, no. Rebound out of there to Du Bois. And Cascade, to their credit, hanging around.
Yeah, down by 4 with the ball. And Alderson. Now Alderson tries to take it himself.
Yes!
Alderson finally gets his first points of the game. He was the last cadet starter. He was the last starter for either team in the game who had not scored. He gets his first points at a perfect time. A chance to complete the three-point play and cut it to 1 with 2:26 to go here in the third quarter at Clayton. This is the first home game for the Cadets boys team in 24 days. And what a dandy it is. The Lady Cadets just played their first home game in 31 days, got a 69-57 win over the Lady Clovers, and now Alderson misses the free throw. Still lead only 2.
2:20 left to play in the third quarter. Moore with it, over to Neese. Oh, there's a steal by Du Bois. Foot race to the basket. He's going to lay it up and in.
We're tied.
And a timeout, a technical foul called on Cloverdale.
Oh, boy. Was it the coach?
Yeah, it was on the coach. And I apologize there. I was so into calling the play that I didn't move the camera there for the open layup for Du Bois. But there was we did get the technical foul there. That official immediately moving to the now Neese went down and he's still holding his leg a little bit there.
Oh boy. Free throw by Birch is good.
And immediately as soon as that happened, the Cloverdale coach shot up out of the bench, got the technical foul, and he really didn't get his money's worth. I mean, But
okay.
Birch hits them both.
Now
makes it a 52-49 Cascade lead.
Yeah.
So a huge 4-point swing there, maybe more if the Cadets can get the ball, because it also cost Cloverdale the ball. Now nearly a steal by Neese in the backcourt, but lob ahead, tipped up, loose ball on the floor, fought for, jump, timeout, jump ball.
Okay. Who's this? Now remember, the possession arrow favors Cascade. I didn't see the signal for a few seconds. Now, like I said in the girls' game, Rob and I, from our vantage point, cannot see the possession arrow, so we have to rely entirely on the officials and our imperfect memories.
Which clearly, based on the free throw earlier, is our memories are both fading quickly. Looking to get it in. Finally does. Alderson guarded very closely down into Birch, and now there's a steal and a couple of really bad possessions by the Cadets and a foul now. And that's two bad possessions by Cascade with the chance to expand the lead, and it'll end up back in the hands
So, definitely barn burner brewing here with Cascade having an improbable 3-point lead now as Du Bois sits down, and he's replaced probably for the rest of the half by 6'6" sophomore Benson Walker, the tallest player on the team, an inch taller than Du Bois. Moore brings it down now. A three-pointer would tie it, and both Moore and then especially Neese, they certainly are good at draining the three. So now Moore gives it over to Neese. Now the jump shot, no good off the front of the rim. Neese, has been pretty cold on shooting from the second quarter on.
Yeah, he made some really amazing shots
in
that first quarter. But I'll tell you what, he just nice pass down into Stevenson. Back up to Alderson to Birch. Birch, he'll fire a three. Off the front of the rim. No
Boy,
good.
if they can maintain the lead without, and now they nearly threw it away there, but if they maintain the lead without Du Bois, that's got to be a big boost of confidence. And now Moore getting a little wild there, trying to get a reverse layup, and he does draw the foul.
They're going to call that a shooting foul, and Chris Du Bois beside himself on that call, saying basically we got all sorts of contact down on our end and no call, and then little nickel dimer there, but Cloverdale will take it.
So Moore on the free throw, first one up and good. He has 19 now to lead the Clovers. And second one is also good. So Jalen Moore with a team high 20, cutting the lead to 1. Cascade with the ball. Ross Stevenson now, they better hurry to get it back. Yeah, so they do. And now on the other end, drive to the basket by Hopper. He lays it in.
Nice job by Hopper.
Hopper with a quiet 8. So now jumper by Moore, no good. Rebound there by Jacobs. Zach Jacobs, 5'10 sophomore, and now we got a foul. They're going to get Neese for a reach in there on Birch. Let's see how many is that. I believe that's 3. That's 2 on Neese. So he'll probably stay in the game, but nevertheless, 54-51 lead for the Cadets. The likely hold for the last shot here. They were down by 3 at the end of the half. It'd be great if they took any lead into this fourth quarter here at what's going to be a very tense barn burner of a finish here. Birch now 14 seconds, dribbling all around, trying to get open. Passes down to Benson Walker, back to Birch, 10 seconds to go in the half now. Down to 8. He takes it over to the top of the key, switches directions. Three-pointer now, no good off the back of the rim. Rebound by Neese, 1 second left, puts it up from 3/4 of the court, nearly hits it.
50-50 shot when he throws it up, it's going in.
Yeah.
No matter where it's from.
Yeah. So, 3/4 in the books here at Clayton. It's been an outstanding game with your Cascade Cadets trying to pull off their second upset win, in the last week. A week ago tonight out at Plainfield in the Hendricks County Basketball Tournament, they pulled off the upset over the host Quakers, a 4A team. Tonight they're trying to pull off the upset over Butler signee Cooper Neese, a 30-point-a-game scorer, as well as his backcourt mate Jalen Moore, a 23-point-a-game scorer. At the end of 3 here at Clayton, your Cascade Cadets lead the Cloverdale Clovers by a score of 54-51. Dalton Du Bois is the leading scorer for Cascade with 22. I also have Evan Birch with a quiet 16. And then Jaden Hopper scoring well above his average with 8 tonight, followed by Ross Stevenson with 4. Benson Walker with 2, and Alec Alderson with 2. So definitely, and the 2 big scorers for Cloverdale have not been shut down by any means. In fact, Jalen Moore has 20 points, which is just 3 below his average at 23 a game. But while Cooper Neese does have 18, he's on pace to get, well below his average of 30. And he's really struggled. He's missed a lot of shots. And after that sensational first quarter, just hasn't found his rhythm. So now Moore starts off with a drive to the basket. No good. Rebound by Du Bois. Good start to the last quarter for the Cadets. Now if they can build on this lead, take the multi-possession lead. And now Hopper drives but then pitches back to Du Bois. Takes it out near the three-point line. Pitches inside, but it's stolen away. And Moore comes away with it for Cloverdale. He brings it down methodically, guarded by Alderson. Now a free throw line jumper. He swishes it. He has 22 now, tidying Du Bois for the game lead, and it's cuts the lead to 1. Cascade with the ball, 1-point lead, 7:15 to go.
Like we said, back and forth affair, and some big leads for both teams.
And boy, Alderson would have had, and now it's knocked out of bounds and saved there by the Cadets, but then they have a backcourt violation. Nice effort there by Zach Jacobs to save it.
Cascade has been really out of sorts the last couple times down the floor, Leck, and not getting a whole lot of good looks at the basket.
Yeah, now Evan Birch coming back in for Benson Walker. That should help. Birch having an excellent game, one of the best I've ever seen. Cloverdale with trailing by 1. Moore has the ball now. He has 22 to lead the team. And now three-pointer, no good. And now rebounded right into the arms of Jacobs, who will bring it up for the Cadets. Now passes to Birch. Guarded there. And now passes over to Alderson near the corner. Alderson drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebounded there by Neese, who takes it down all the way himself, and he's fouled.
That's a good foul there because he's got an easy path at the basket if they don't make the foul. Oh, no, they're going to call an intentional foul.
Oh, boy, that is a bad break. It didn't look like it to me, but...
Ooh. That's a...
I don't like that call. I rarely complain about officiating, but yeah, that's... No, I don't like that one. So now, Neese hits the free throw, tying it. Free throw is, almost like a layup for him. He has 19 now. Make it 20, and the Clovers regain the lead. That boy, if this ends up being a close game, that could be one of the pivotal moments. And definitely, I think that was just far, far, far too subjective a call to make, and that's, I think it's just far too subjective a call. And now we got a foul against Cloverdale, though, so good break for the Cadets. They get the ball back, 6:20 to go, trailing by 1. It goes against, I guess they got, it's against Neese, so I guess it's a charge. It's his third. So suddenly, Neese, even though we're in the last quarter, a little bit of foul trouble there. So now Alderson brings the ball, and boy, I thought they should have gotten. They got a charge there. Boy, that's a very questionable call too. They got Alderson for a charge there on Moore. I don't know about that. I mean, I'd love to have the benefit of instant replay, but that's two very, very questionable calls. So certainly the crowd here, reacting pretty strongly.
Just got a message from somebody who knows what the heck's going on, and they were pointing out there's a three ball from Neese. It's short. Rebound pulled down, put up in a nope, no good. Du Bois out of there with it.
Huge rebound there.
I'll make this point here in just a second. This would not be that big of an upset if Cascade wins, even though it does seem like it. We'll talk about that in just a second. Alderson has it on the right wing, picks up the dribble, and now whistle and a timeout going to be called by Chris Du Bois for Cascade. In the Sagarin, Cascade is 166 in the Sagarin. Cloverdale's 201.
Wow. Well, they have played a fairly weak schedule. I know that strength of schedule has a significant effect on the Sagarin ratings. So,
but you wonder. I mean, something has to be going on where you have two guys at a school this size that are of Division I quality. Obviously, we know one of them certainly is. The other one, more maybe he's a high-level D2 player, but he's has potential to be a pretty good college basketball player. How do you have those two guys on a team and you're 201 in the Sagarin?
Yeah, well, they don't get my. You look at tonight for Cascade, Moore has 22, Neese has 20, but then the rest of the way, the other four scores. Wilkins with 6, Winters with 3, Pfaff with 2, and Rossick with 2. So, yeah, they do not get a whole lot of support.
Hopper on the wing to Birch. Birch dribbles underneath the basket, goes up and in with the right
We're back
hand.
ahead.
Nice job that time by Birch. Cadets get the lead back, 56-55. 5 minutes, 24 seconds to play in the ball game.
Well, this wouldn't exactly be David over Goliath, but certainly it would be an upset in my book, especially because because Cascade is not a deep team, it's just hard to imagine them containing any player who's headed for a power conference team there, as the first free throw is up and good there by Neese. He now has 21. tying the game at 56 with 5:24 to go here in the fourth quarter. Second one is also good. So 3 players with 22 points apiece tonight, Moore, Neese, and Dubois. And it's a 1-point Cloverdale lead. Now Zach Jacobs, who's seen a lot of action tonight, over to Evan Birch, takes it around nice behind the back dribble, off the glass. He hits it, and we're back up by 1. 5:02 to go here in the Clayton. Barn burner of a finish coming up. We've had probably in the neighborhood of a dozen lead changes so far. And now Neese drives to the finds an open man, and he's fouled. Going for the shot.
Yeah, foul that time. And Neese will go to the free throw line. Took it on the nose there.
That was Parker Watts, a 5'10 senior. Got hammered by Dalton Dubois. And he better be careful. That's his 4th foul. If he fouls out, it's hard to imagine Cascade hanging on to win. So Watts puts it up, hits it. That's his first point of the game. And we are tied at 58 with 4:51 to go now. And now Dubois will sit down probably for the last time tonight while he's replaced by Chase Edwards, a 6'2 senior. So Watts, second free throw up and no good. However, it's a rebound there by the Cadets, by the Clovers, excuse me. So we're tied with Cloverdale having the ball now. 4:43 to go. And now a drive to the basket by Moore. He easily gets through a couple of guys and lays it in. He has a game-high 24. And now the other end, Birch rushing down court, puts up a 3. No good off the front of the rim. Rebound, one-arm rebound there by Neese. Remember, Neese averages 9 points in addition to his 30 rebounds, 9 rebounds in addition to his 30 points a game. And now they gives it to Moore, and he lays it in again. So now all of a sudden it's a 2-possession lead, and Moore has a game-high 26. However, Dubois does not take the timeout, showing faith in his guys to stay composed. A little over 4 minutes to go here. Hopper with the ball now at the left perimeter. Pitches down to Birch in the corner, coming off a screen by Ross Stevenson. Inside to a wide open Chase Edwards, who lays it in, cutting the lead to 2. Boy, did they need that. 60-58 your score here. Cloverdale leading Cascade, or 62-60, excuse me. Cloverdale leading Cascade. Moore with the ball, nearly stolen from him by Birch, hanging out near the midcourt line. And now, nearly had a steal there, but I think they're going to get Birch for a reach-in against Moore. So that means that Moore will be going to the free throw line. And that's the second one on Evan Birch. 3:34 to go. Jalen Moore, a 23-point-a-game scorer as a junior. After Cooper Neese graduates this year, he should be probably a 30-plus point-a-game scorer next year for Cloverdale. And he misses the first one. Big break for the Cadets, because even if he gets this one, it will only be a one-possession game. And now Dubois returning for Chase Edwards, who hit a key basket in the absence of Dubois. Also, Alec Alderson coming in to replace Zach Jacobs, who's played heavy minutes tonight.
Cascade student section chanting choke, trying to really urge Moore in the right direction.
Moore hits the second one. It's a 3-point lead. Now Moore has 27 points. Cascade with the ball now. A 3-point field goal would tie it. And now inside over to Dubois there on the baseline. He posts up, finds Alderson for 3 from a corner. He hit it! We're tied!
Great shot that time. Alderson just set him there in the corner. Dubois through the traffic, kicked it in the corner. We're tied.
3:08 to go, and now Neeson, he gives it up, and we got a foul here.
Basket was good, but they're going to call a foul on the floor. And Cascade with 10-plus team fouls, so it'll be double bonus, but it will not be a 3-point play opportunity.
So Patrick Watts went 1 for 2 his first trip to the line, and that is going to be against Alec Alderson. That's a big one. He's gone. Alderson fouls out with 5 points. And now Zach Jacobs coming back in. Jacobs, 5'10 junior. He's the same height as the senior Alderson. So Watts trying to put his team back up in the lead. First free throw is up, and it is no good. So we remain tied with 3:05 to go. And keep in mind, Dubois also has 4 fouls for Cascade. Second free throw is good. So it's a 1-point lead there for the Clovers. And now Cascade will take a lead with any field goal. Chase Edwards brings it up. Over to Dalton DuBois at the left perimeter. Now passes back to Hopper. Now inside on the baseline to Ross Stevenson. Posts up, puts it off the glass. No good. Rebound by Neese. And now Cloverdale with the lead and the ball. Neese brings it past midcourt. Now we got
wanted a charging foul that time. They called the block on Hopper. That boy certainly could have gone either way.
So the close fouls here in the fourth quarter going against the Cadets.
Still 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the game. But Neese at the free throw line, a chance to extend the lead to 2 or 3 points if he can connect on both free throws.
Neese looks a little groggy, but now the referee with a towel drying the area inside the lane there. Now, as far as I know, there's no hockey ice under the floor here. But apparently there was a wet spot there nevertheless. So now, first free throw by Neese is good. He has 23 now. Second on the team behind Moore's 27. Second free throw up and good, so it's a 3-point lead for the Clovers. 51 points combined tonight for the two superstars who averaged 53 on the game, 53 a game this season. So now Hopper with the ball over to DuBois on the baseline now to Jacobs, wide open three. He hit it. We're tied again.
Huge step back three that time. Doesn't get a whole lot of publicity. He got a lot of playing time in the county tournament, though, and that was number 5, Zach Jacobs from downtown.
So now Moore has the ball near the midcourt line. 2:06 to go. Tie game here at Clayton. Weaves between a couple of defenders. Was in danger of losing it. Now a three-pointer there from the right perimeter is good. That's Patrick Watts.
Yeah, and when you're going to have helping hands nailing three-pointers like that, there's not much you can do if you're Cascade because it takes so much effort to stop Neese and Moore. So big shot that time.
Yeah, that's right. And it's always good to have somebody who can stick it when you're being double and triple teamed.
Birch 1 of the 3 passed on it, gets it to Jacobs, over to DuBois, goes on with Neese, backs down, spin move, ball blocked, loose ball in the hand of Birch, up and in for 2, and a timeout Cascade. The Cadets trail it by 1, a minute 24 to play in the ball game.
Dick Vitale would be having a field day right now, but I'll tell you, you can't ask for anything more than this. This is just what Indiana basketball is all about. This game with, one certain major conference college player in Cooper Neese, a probable Division I player in Jalen Moore, and yet Cascade is there trailing by only 1 here in Clayton before a crazy crowd near capacity here. 1:24 to go in this exciting game, barring overtime. Of course, we've seen overtime once this year already. That was back with the girls' game on December 6th against Cardinal Ritter, in which the Lady Raiders won on a layup at the buzzer. Hopefully this game will go the way of the Cadets tonight, but we'll see. Nevertheless, what a historic night. They're honoring the Lady Cadets of the past. They introduced the new mascot. We have a doubleheader. The first game for the girls in a month, and the first game for the boys in nearly a month here in this gym. The girls win in a big come-from-behind game against Cloverdale, and now the boys, they might not win, but at the very least they're taking this very talented team with these 2 superstar players, 2 of the best players in the state, down to the wire. So now Jalen Moore will bring it up. Cloverdale with the ball and a 1-point lead, 1:18 to go here at Clayton. Double team now inside, now gives it over to Cooper Neese, who starts to drive now behind the back dribble, pitches over to Winders. Now back over to Moore, 1:06 to go, and we got a foul.
That is a total acting job by Moore that time. And like you said, Leck, I'm generally pretty lax on the officials.
Oh, me too.
But that's awful officiating that time to make that call.
Rob, we've called probably a couple of dozen games together over the years, and I think it's safe to say you and I have criticized the officials tonight more than all the other games combined.
Well, that's just lazy officiating right there. Just because the guy bounces back doesn't mean he was fouled. I mean, that's just not doing your job. It's just laziness. And
the second foul on Zach Jacobs, by the way. Moore hit the first free throw. He has a game-high 28. Second free throw is up and good also, so he has 29, and it is a 3-point lead there.
And let it fly. Nope. Out of bounds. It'll belong to the Cadets.
Yeah, good break.
That was a heads-up play by Cascade that time. They threw the ball quickly down the floor, and Birch was standing there in the corner. He missed the shot, but a good job that time, especially since they ended up back with the ball. They're down by 3.
Yes, so under a minute to go now. Birch with the ball. Takes it to the basket. Finds Stevenson. Puts it up off the ground.
He hit it hard!
He hit it and he fouled.
Ross Stevenson with the basket and a chance to tie the game with 51 and a half seconds to go.
Oh, man. Russ Stevenson, the junior, only 5'10", but he plays so much bigger. He's probably on the football team here based on his build, and he's such a tough competitor. You know, Cascade, on both the boys and the girls' sides, they have people who are undersized but aren't afraid to do the dirty work and who aren't afraid to get inside and go for the rebound. We saw that with Lexi Gross with the girls, and now we're seeing it with Russ Stevenson.
That's what I thought. The roster we have is wrong. Number 5 is Michael Alderson. I thought that was right because that's who it was during the county tournament. So number 5 is Michael Alderson. We apologize for getting that wrong. Neese makes the shot, and now the lead is back to 3.
Cooper Neese with 26 now, so he's close to his average. So 34 seconds to go. Cascade with the ball, down by 3.
And now a whistle and a timeout by Chris Du Bois. Yeah, we apologize about that. I thought maybe it's the same guy, but apologize about that. So the roster that we have there at Cascade is wrong. It was right at the county tournament.
Okay, well, it happens. You know, Rob, it's part of the charm of high school ball, you know, get incorrect rosters. So, you know, there's so many things to love about high school sports, so many intangibles that are missing from the higher levels. So, and now I'll tell you that now we've got the coach for Cloverdale out on the court. You know, he's having a pretty long discussion with one of the officials. I'm not sure what the issue is, but
now the question becomes.
Oh, and that call, by the way, that foul is against that was against Neese. So Neese has 4 now. So that's pretty significant.
The question is, if you're Cascade, do you try for the quick 3, or do you try to get a 2?
I say, you know, be open-minded. They've shown that they're a good enough three-point shooting team that you go for the 3 if you get, you know, an open look real quickly. But, you know, at the same time, you know, if right off the bat you got a guy wide open under the basket, give it to him, you know, because it's, you know, it's still got, you know, plenty of time.
Quickly inbound to Birch, deep in the backcourt. He'll walk it up across the 10-second line. Drinks it to the right side. Now back to the center of the floor. Takes the bump to the left side. Going for the quick 2. Goes up. Got it to go.
1-point game.
And now a timeout, Chris Du Bois. Man, I'll tell you what, he got all sorts of contact that time and no foul call, but 30-second timeout. I think that's the final timeout for Cascade.
Yeah, you know, I wish every scoreboard had the timeouts left remaining, but nevertheless, 20.6 seconds to go here at Clayton. Cloverdale leads Cascade 73-72. The Clovers have 2 of the leading scorers in state in Butler commit Cooper Neese, who has 26, and then 5'9" junior Jalen Moore, who has 29, and likely will be one of the most recruited players in the state a year from now when he's a senior, and especially no longer playing in the shadow of Cooper Neese. But nevertheless, sensational effort by Cascade. And, you know, I hope they pull it out. But even if they don't, what an effort it's been. What a game it's been. The girls got a big win over the Cloverdale girls team in the opener. And now Moore, and now they got a whistle here with 16.4 seconds left. I think Moore is going to be going to the free throw line. So Moore, tell you, coming into this game, Neese was averaging 30 and Moore 23. But if Moore hits this one, then he will have 30. And trying to first free throw is good after a few bounces. So Moore does have the 30 points now.
Yeah, it's very hard to guard them in the backcourt because you got both those guys that can handle the ball and shoot free throws. So when you got to make one of those fouls pretty quick, it's a tough thing to do. Big free throw coming up here. He missed it.
No good.
Chance for Cascade to tie or take the lead. Here we go.
13 seconds left.
The ball across the 10-second line. He takes it to the right side on the wing, picks up the dribble. He's fouled by Neese. A foul by Neese with 7.5 seconds to go.
And that Neese is gone.
Yeah, Neese is out of the ball game.
Huge break.
Went for the steal as they tried the double team that time, and Neese committed the foul. So we will see what Cascade does here, as obviously Birch will be at the foul line. That's the 8th team foul, so it's 1 in the bonus. So Cascade's got to be very aware if the free throw is missed, but obviously from Birch's perspective, thinking to line up there and just make 2.
Neese fouling out with 26 points. But now Birch has to hit both of them. He's a good shooter. First free throw up. Got it.
Boy, he looked really, really, really confident that time.
Yeah. I mean, now he's just got to do it one more and we're tied and likely headed to overtime.
Talking to his teammates there before he lines it up.
We're tied.
Oh, man. Boy, did he look confident.
7 seconds left.
Here we go. There's the inbound to Moore. Moore across the 10-second line. Lays it up. Got it.
Oh, no.
There's no timeouts left, and that'll do it. Cascade.
Wait, let's see what's going on here. I thought they were out of timeouts too, but let's see. They're not doing the handshake line. Yep. Oh, yes, it's over.
So that's it. Boy, that was some confusion there at the end. Moore goes the distance, lays it up and in, and the Cascade Cadets fall in a heartbreaker tonight, 76-74 to the Cloverdale Clovers. Leck, your final thoughts?
Man, one of the best games I've ever had the honor and pleasure of commentating. I'm sorry that it didn't go quite the way we wanted to go, but what a lot. Cascade just has a whole lot to be proud of. You hate to talk about moral victories, but they had a team with, one certain power conference player and another one likely to be a Division I player, and, a team with far superior talent, and yet we went down to the wire, and had a chance to pull it out at the end, just didn't go our way, but, we were beaten by a team that was a little better, and still likely, that we're going to pull out a winning season, and certainly a lot to feel proud about and feel good about for the future of Cascade basketball, and obviously great win by the girls in the opener. And remember Dalton DuBois, he was a monster tonight, and he's only a junior, so we got him back for another year. And a lot of the young guys did some good things tonight, like Michael Alderson and Ross Stevenson and some of the others. So this team should be even better next year. Anyway, final totals tonight for Cloverdale. Jalen Moore finished with 32, including the winning shot there with 1 second to go, and then Cooper Neese had 26, followed by Jake Wilkes with 6, Patrick Watts with 5, Nick Winters with 3, Seth Pfaff with 2, and Jaron Rossick with 2, and finally for Cascade, Evan Birch 26, Dalton DuBois 24, Jalen Hopper 8, Alec Alderson 5, Benson Walker 2, Chase Edwards 3, and Michael Alderson with 3. So what a doubleheader. We got 2 more games here tomorrow night. We got the girls at 2:30 against South Vermilion, followed by the girls at 2, and then the boys at 7:30, both teams playing against South Vermilion, and we'll have JV games in both cases.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for joining us. We will see you tomorrow at 2 for the girls, 7:30 for the boys. For Lex Zorn, I'm Rob Kendall saying have yourself a great evening.